Every year it seems scammers get more and more clever with new techniques designed to steal from us, and the best thing you can do to fight them is to learn their ways so you can spot the scams from a mile away. So that's what we're going to go over today. I've got about 7 scam techniques that are either brand new or have become more prevalent leading into 2020, most of which are internet and phone based, and how you can also defend against each one of these. So the first one you need to watch out for is a pretty clever email based scam. With this, the scammer will basically impersonate some high-level manager or executive at your company. They might do this by either spoofing the email address or use the person's actual email account to send it out if they manage to break in with a stolen password. Then, for the scam, they will email multiple people at the company below them, telling them that they need to go buy gift cards usually, saying it will be a gift for other employees on your team or whatever, and the scammer might tell the victim to put it on a company credit card or just buy it themselves and they'll be reimbursed, and also tell the victim to then send the gift card codes to them. Then, once the scammer gets the gift card codes, they'll just disappear. This scam has been reported by several people on Reddit who have either fallen for it or come close to, and it's probably going to be more common around holidays when the whole lie about needing the gift cards for gifts makes more sense. This scam may also be tougher to detect because it can be more personalized, but now that you know about it, you can easily defend against it by simply calling the person who supposedly needs these gift cards and actually speak to them to confirm it or go talk to them in person. Okay, the next scam is a variation of a phishing scam, which has become a lot more popular. And the idea is a scammer will send out a ton of fake shipping confirmation emails pretending to be Target, Amazon, or some other online store, and then give you some kind of login link to track your order, but then it takes you to a phishing site designed to look like the real site, requiring you to log in, and then it just steals your credentials. There are a lot of possible variations to this. For example, the scammer might say something like, "There's a problem with your order, log in here to fix it," or whatever. They may even be able to personalize it by using information from previous data breaches to actually include your real name in the email to make it seem more legitimate. This is another one that will be more common during the holiday months where people make lots of orders online. So if the scam email happens to arrive soon after you actually order something, you might not think twice and then fall for it. Now, there are a few ways to defend against this scam. First, be highly suspicious of any shipping confirmations or purchase-related emails if you didn't actually make any orders. Next, remember that usually stores will include the names of the products you order in their email. Not always, but usually. So if the email is overly generic, don't click any links and just go to the site directly yourself to check any order status. Okay, up to number 3. This is another email-based scam having to do with online stores, but it's not a phishing scam. This particular scam technique occurs when a scammer has already gotten access to one of your online shopping accounts. They may have done this in any number of ways, whether it was a previous phishing attempt or a stolen password database or something, but that's not the point here. The trick is that the scammer will place an order to buy a bunch of crap to themselves using your online store account, using saved payment details, and then hide the fact that they did this by signing you up for a ton of spam emails, which hides the order confirmation email. Because normally if they order something with your account, you would just see an email and become suspicious if you didn't order anything and hopefully check it out. So they sign you up for a ton of spam to bury this order confirmation email, hoping you don't see it. One example from someone on Reddit who spotted this scam gave the example that they got a ton of spam from government newsletters, all from the govdelivery.com domain. Fortunately, they spotted the order email and was able to cancel it. So the way to defend against this scam is become very suspicious if you all of a sudden start getting a ton more spam than usual, especially if it's from one source, and then actually go through all the emails, making sure nothing is hidden in there. Because remember, this is a technique scammers may use if they've already got you somehow. All right, up next is a really devious one where ironically, scammers initially call a victim pretending to be government officials, warning them that their identity is stolen. In one specific example, scammers called someone and said they were from the Social Security Administration, telling the victim that their Social Security number was stolen and used to rent a car. They then scared the victim by saying that the rented car was found with a bunch of illegal drugs inside and they needed to comply with the investigation or face prosecution. They even had someone pretending to be a Border Patrol agent saying that supposedly the rented car was found near the border and was used for smuggling or all sorts of scare tactics. Eventually, you guessed it, they convinced the victim to buy thousands of dollars worth of Google Play gift cards, which scammers these days love. Now, it might not always be this obvious. For example, the scammer might demand a wire transfer saying your bank account was compromised or that there's stolen money in your account or God knows what reason. And the primary way to defend against this scam is to know that the government is not going to call you to tell you your identity is stolen and definitely won't threaten you with prosecution by phone. And obviously, for God's sake, the government is not going to ever ask you to buy freaking gift cards. Seriously, I feel bad for the guy who lost a bunch of money to this scam, and I guess he was under heavy pressure, but he's still a moron for falling for it. Just always be suspicious, especially when gift cards are involved, and you'll be fine. Okay, the next scam is actually really sophisticated and one that even the most tech savvy of you might still fall for. This one takes advantage of a feature of all those virtual assistants these days like Amazon Echo, Google Assistant, Siri, and all those. You see, when someone asks AI assistants to call a certain business, they will often use search engines to look up the top result for that business for the customer support number to use. Then they'll just give you that number, it finds, or just call it depending on what you asked it to do. But here's the really tricky part. Turns out scammers have started setting up fake customer service phone numbers, then pay to promote these numbers with ads or other sketchy tactics, so they end up near the top of the results. And even I'm not 100% sure how this works. It seems like the AI assistants apparently can't tell the difference between an ad and an actual search result, but regardless, the way the scam works is the virtual assistant will call the fake customer support number instead of the real one, then the fake representative will try to get you to do all sorts of stuff. Depending on the company you think you're calling, they may instruct you to install malware or have you log on to a fake website and steal your info, anything really. And the worst part about all this is most people will assume they're safe because they called the company. It's not like they received some suspicious call without realizing the number they called isn't real. So the way to defend against this, I would say, is just don't use virtual assistants to auto dial for you. Always do a search yourself and make sure the number comes from the official company's website and never call a phone number that is listed in an ad in search results. All right, we still got a couple more scams to go over. This next one really sucks because it has to do with directly stealing your money and you don't even have much control over defending against it. What the scammer does is first get some of your basic information, probably from a breached online database, which you can't control, and then either emails or calls up your company's HR department or payroll department. Then they pretend to be you and tell the person that you want to change the bank account where you receive your paycheck via direct deposit. If the HR representative falls for it, you probably won't even realize what's happened until your next payday when you don't get your money. I believe you wouldn't be on the hook for this cash, the company probably would, but you still have to deal with the stress of missing a paycheck and having to sort it out with your employer. And apparently these scammers are pretty smart, and the emails they send can seem very legitimate. Like here's one, for example. It just said, "Hey, do you have a minute? I need you to help me take care of something important. I need to update the direct deposit for my payroll. Can you do that on your end?" Depending on the email address this scammer used to send it from, especially if they got into your real email address, that would probably be really convincing. So I guess really the only way you can defend against this, firstly, is to make sure you keep your email account secure with a unique, strong password, and ideally use two-factor authentication. Then always keep tabs on your bank account to make sure your payment deposits arrive when they should. All right. The final scam is a new, trickier variation on classic bank phone scams, and it may even be used to circumvent two-factor authentication methods. What happens is the scammer will call you up pretending to be your bank's fraud department, asking if you made some purchase, which obviously you didn't, and then they can offer to block the transaction. They then ask for a piece of information that by itself you might not think can be used to scam you, such as your bank member ID, user ID, email address, or something that you use to log in, but not your password. Then they'll go to the bank's website and use the lost password function along with whatever info you gave them. And with some banks, this will trigger a confirmation text message with a code to be sent to your phone, but it might not say anything about a forgotten password in this text. So the scammers will then ask for that code from your phone and use it to log into your account themselves. Depending on your bank, they may already have enough at this point to steal money from you, or they may keep digging for more info, even asking for your bank card PIN. Obviously, everyone knows you should never give your PIN number to anyone claiming to be your bank unless you specifically called them. But again, the trick here is you don't realize you gave them other info they can use to take over your account. So the way to defend against this scam is nothing new. If you ever receive a call from someone claiming to be your bank, never give them any info unless you actually call them and use the official bank phone number on the bank card. And be aware that scammers might be able to use seemingly innocuous info to scam you, so just be extra careful. Now, if you want to know about even more scams, next up I'd recommend this other video I made this year talking about some other new online scams you can watch out for. You can just check that out by clicking the little thumbnail right here. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good one.